Boom, shaka, laka, boom. Sorry, I didn't have the right button hit. All right, cut the mic off instead of on. Anyway, let's start over, shall we? Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You're tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards. We are live on 103.9 FM WYAB. Streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB. We're also streaming in 4K video for what that's worth. As I look at myself on there this morning. At Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Just search Save JXN. Man, I've been noticing all the new Rumble followers. I know I said that yesterday. But pretty neat there. Pretty neat seeing people use that platform as well. It's not as user-friendly as YouTube. YouTube's user interface is by far superior. Their search tool, by far superior. The algorithm, all that stuff. But Rumble is a nice plan B, especially for more incendiary content that YouTube doesn't like. YouTube's gotten a little less crazy with the censorship, but it is still crazy with the censorship. So, anyway. The Guns of Gear text line, 769-241-1944, 769-241-1944. The Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. Some of the things we're going to talk about this morning. There's a puppy mill being ran in central Mississippi. A lady has been selling newborn puppies way too early to part from their mother and lying to people about what kind of breeds they are and all this, that, and the other. And one of our good friends, Amber, bought a puppy and brought this story to light. And it has turned into a massive snowball over the last couple of days. We're going to get into that. I told y'all the other day I reached a point in my life where I have, generally speaking, more sympathy for stray animals than I do stray humans. So I'm going to talk about that. I want to talk about, I know it's a political show, so we got to do it. I want to talk about the Matt Gaetz report being voted to be released. Did our very own Michael Guest, was he the swing vote from the Republican side to shame another Republican, his ethics committee? Most likely. He most likely was. I mean, are we sitting in Republicans? And maybe I'm just not a Republican. Maybe I just don't get it. It's me. I'm the problem. That's what it is, isn't it? I'm not a Republican. I really believe that. Because I think we should not be banning TikTok. I don't think we should be kicking Republicans out of the House. I don't think we should be shaming our own. For no reason, when the ethics committee is not supposed to release information on private citizens. He's not a congressman. We can go on and on and on. I don't think they should be insider trading. If I can't, you can't. I don't know. But hey, again, I know I'm not a Democrat. Maybe I'm just out on here on an island. Maybe I'm just a lonely island. I was the holdout here at WYAB on really turning on Michael Guest. Like, I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, I see him, I'm out there around him a good bit, and he's always nice, and I treat people the way they treat me, and I still do. I mean, I'm not going to chew somebody out or cuss somebody out because I disagree with them. But you do tend to catch yourself when you have a relationship with people biting your tongue more often. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I've stopped doing that for a while now. But anyway, I think I was the last one to kind of hold out. Jameson and Kim saw it way before I did. And I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. He was good to me. So, whatever. But now we got a better sample size of what's going on. Yeah. What was it? Was it Mendez? What was the guy? The crazy dude that they voted to kick out of Congress, last year, here in the last year. Not the guy with the gold bricks. That's the Democrat. But the Republican, the crazy gay Republican from New York or whatever, anyway, why did you do that? What was the point? What was the point? So we're going to talk about that. The spending bill. Elon and Trump have stepped in and are going to, they're trying to blame them for a government shutdown. Well, look, man, I mean, maybe the government needs to shut down. And let's be honest. Calling it a shutdown is like calling abortion family planning. Not a government shutdown. It's a theft prevention system. We are preventing, if we can stop the bleeding, we're preventing them from stealing our money. It's not a shutdown. So that's just my opinion. But I do like Elon and Trump stepping in and calling out the Speaker of the House on this ridiculous bill. Now, there is one thing in it, and we'll get into all of it. I got to get my notes together. There's one thing in this that I saw like Benny Johnson and that crew on the internet yesterday raising a bunch of hell about. And I know everybody gets mad every time we talk about giving our congressman a raise. Here's the problem with that. With not wanting to give them more money. They're not all crooked. A. They're not all doing insider trading. B. But you want good people. I mean, these are important positions. And I'm saying this operating in a perfect world here. If you want to send CEO types to Washington to run America like a business, you need to pay them like you pay CEOs. Now, I don't think a freshman congressman or senator should make as much money as somebody that's been there for a couple terms. Just like in life, there should be a system for this thing. If you get put in over committees, maybe you need to make more money. I don't know. I don't have a problem with good people being paid what they're worth. Now, are they all worth the same? Hell no. They are absolutely not. So if you want good people to do a job, you need to compensate good people to do the job. It's like Mayor Jackson. It does not pay enough for the pain in the butt that comes with it. It's got to either be a calling like it is for a Kim Wade, or you got to go into it knowing you're about to steal a bunch of stuff like Chokwe Lumumba. I mean, to do that job full time, to deal with the nonsense that it comes with, that's probably $250,000, $300,000 a year job. And, after taxes, that ain't that much money, especially under Joe Biden. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I care way more about than Congress giving themselves a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year raise. But again, I understand why you don't like it. As things are currently constituted up there, I get it. But if you want the best and the brightest to go up there and want to run, then you need to compensate them to do so. Used to, you get somebody with good college education, and there's an argument to be made for some college educations being good. Some of them are a waste of money. There's an argument to be made, at least used to. It's like, man, do I want to get into business and become a CEO of a let's pick a car lot, a good car lot, for example, one of the big ones. I will say Mazda Jackson, since they sponsor the show. And I'm just picking their name. I do not know the economics of their pay structure. You know what? Circle back. When I was used car manager at Great Daniels Ford, like the used car manager, the general manager, new car manager, everybody can make between about $180,000 to $300,000 a year, give or take. Well, if you can run that size business and you can run it right, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money here in central Mississippi. Now, and that's the kind of business, that's the size business I'm referring to when I say go become a CEO. Or do you want to go make $180,000, $200,000 a year being a congressman? Those are the kind of people I think need to be people who can run a business and manage people at that pay level, with that ceiling. Those are the kind of people we need going to Washington. People that understand how real life works. We don't need people who, I've made tens and tens of millions of dollars, now I want to go save America. I mean, I'll take that. Don't get me wrong, but I think the expectation that if you think you're going to get that, you're not. Because why would anybody leave making tens and tens of millions of dollars to go save America? To go deal with the swamp? Let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, good morning. You're on there.
Good morning, buddy. Number one, I've tried to switch everything. I can't come by your party on the 23rd.
Thank you.
Now, I'm sorry. I tried. Now, secondly, and I may have dreamed this, did Benny get a open-ended pardon from Biden?
Not yet. Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I heard, and I may have dreamed this crap, but I heard that he got an open-ended pardon. Because, Biden issued a bunch of open-ended pardons that, you're forgiven for any crime that you may have committed, that you hadn't been indicted for or convicted of.
Yeah, he said he would. He said he would accept one. I remember. I saw that. Okay, well, that may be. And one thing is a persistent rumor, and you can probably find out that I was told there was a beating death of an inmate in the central Mississippi prison out at Whitfield. Can you check that out? I've checked everybody I can. I cannot find one shred of it. But it's persistent. To see if there was a beating out there at the central Mississippi one, the one in Rankin?
Yeah, that inmates beat another inmate to death. Now, I don't know the validity of it, but I've heard it from three places. So.
Yeah, I'll check into it. Maybe somebody listening knows.
And look, I'll tell you, Clay, I enjoy your show, man. And I got to say something. Sean and Miss Lindsay came by the governor's mansion to see me. And I want to tell you what, I am jealous of you and Sean because that Miss Lindsay is a joy to behold. And that ain't being sexist. That's just being nice. She is a beautiful and courteous young lady. And I just enjoyed it so much. And look, enjoy your show. Keep giving them hell, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a blessed one, buddy. Thank you. Let's take a break real quick. Come back, get this train on the tracks. I didn't mean to get that far into my rant about Congress. I was just trying to tell you what we were going to talk about this morning, but started vomiting out of the mouth there. When we come back, let's circle back to the puppy mill. That's a big story online. I got tagged in this post about 100 times, and I think it's something we need to talk about. We'll be right back on WYAB. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. I was just listening to that Manship commercial there. I cut that a couple weeks ago, and it says, try our frozen drinks to beat the heat. Well, at least it was hot last week. I mean, it's been kind of warm the first couple of days of this week as well. Until this morning, as I walked out of the house wearing shorts and a T-shirt again. I'm like, what? This bipolar weather? But with that said, circling back to the cold drinks to beat the heat part, does anybody else like ice cream when it's freezing cold outside? I love ice cream when it's freezing cold outside. Like, the colder it gets, the more I crave ice cream or milkshakes. I'm such a weirdo. I don't want that stuff in the summertime. The last thing I want is milk inside me when it's 120 degrees. It may still go bad or something. But when it's cold outside, man, put it in my veins. Frozen drinks, whatever. I want it all. I may just have to swing by Manship myself. I'm telling you, man, they got those half-price pizzas at happy hour. That's the kind of happy hour I can get behind. I don't mind paying full price for my drinks. You give me some half price pizza. Now we're talking. Man, y'all swing by Manship today. Enjoy they got those $5 select barrel bourbon shots or bourbon drinks. Swing by, grab one of those, grab a half price pizza, grab lunch today. They got an amazing blue plate for $15. And of course, they've got all your holiday catering needs handled as well. Maybe getting a little long in the tooth to try to get anything for Christmas, but maybe not. Reach out to them and let Steven and the team know if let them tell you what they got available. That prime rib sounds great. That charcuterie board sounds even better. I love a good charcuterie board. Who doesn't love charcuterie? Anyway, hey, don't forget this Friday, before we jump into this puppy mill stuff, this Friday, 11:30 to 1, come join me and Fred Shanks and anybody else that wants to come. Right there in Brandon, right in front of Crossgates, we're going to be at El Potrillo Mexican Grill and Cantina. I took my dad for lunch there yesterday, so it'll be my second time to eat there this week. We're just going to have our little FAFO Friday monthly lunch. It's nothing too organized, just a group of folks, men, women, whoever wants to show up. We just sit around, tell war stories, network, get to know each other, have some good drinks, some good food, support a local business, and just shoot the breeze for a minute. It's really just that simple, just an opportunity to meet new folks. Nothing fancy at all, nothing too organized. Don't even know if any of us will get up and speak or not, but we might. I may get up and tell a joke or two, but that's right there. It's open to the public. I prefer an RSVP just so I know how many people to sit to ask for a table for, but don't let that stop you from coming if you forget to do it. That's this Friday, 11:30 to 1, El Potrillo Mexican Grill and Cantina, Highway 80, right there at Crossgates in Brandon. Speaking of ice cream, it's right next door to the Bops frozen custard. And I refuse to call ice cream custard, too, by the way. It's ice cream. It's not custard. Custard. Ice cream. That's my hill to die on. All right, man, let's jump into it. I know y'all going to want to call in, text in, and all that for this story. Anytime we talk about puppies and kids, it gets everybody's heartstrings all worked up. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. The Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. All right, so it started out with my friend Amber went and got a puppy. I guess I should start there. I got Melody's post pulled up also. Well, let's start with Melody. Melody did a really good job. Melody Ferguson did a really good job. I don't know Melody for so long with this post here. And then we'll circle back to Amber's story. So it starts off with Puppy Mill Alert. And this lady goes by a couple different names. Now, I want to put a big allegedly up here because I got to protect myself in the radio station here. Allegedly. We're just bringing awareness to this. You know, if you buy a puppy from this lady, just know you've been warned that she has a history of these accusations. These are accusations. This is not fact. I just want to throw that out there. Just, be aware. Be guarded. I want to put that out there. I'm not accusing. I'm just bringing attention to. Melody says, a lady that is well known in the area is still running a puppy mill and scamming people. She advertises tons of small breeds and sells them before they should leave their mama, so they appear smaller. Calls them teacups, minis, etc. And usually they end up being normal-sized breeds. And some of them have been tested and they are not purebred. She drives a white silver van and will not talk via text much. WLBT has ran news stories on her. There's even a Facebook group against her, which I did go join, and we're going to go to that too before we get out of here. And all the vets and rescues know exactly who she is. Most often, the puppies are malnourished, sick, and some have reported their puppies passed away. She is in the Madison Ridgeland area behind a big gated property that has workers to keep the people away. Melody says, I've been there personally. The barn where the dogs are is locked up tight. Please, please, please research who you purchase your babies from. Ask to see the parents, vet records, and references. They should have no problem at all with being completely transparent with you about their breeding program, the adult dogs, and vet records. She says, I am posting the last few pictures gathered from other victims of her shenanigans. It should be noted that sometimes she has a male accomplice that goes by the name of James. Says, please share this and please spread this awareness of not supporting puppy mills and their horrible practices. Some of the names that she goes by, and this should tell you right here that they got a scam going. Last known name is Vicki Davis, but she often uses different last names. She also used Susie Smith and Victoria Moore. Now, there's a whole Facebook group that I recommend you guys going and checking out. It's already got 3.8 thousand members. It's called Victims of Vicki Davis Puppy Mill. And it's just tons of terrible stories here. Now, look, me personally, I just get my dogs from the pound, the rescues or whatever. That's just me. I'm not one of these people either that gets mad if you get them from a breeder. Like, if you want a certain kind of dog, get it from a breeder. Right? Whatever. Just take care of your dog. That's all I say. I'm not one of these, oh my God, how dare you not get a rescue animal. I like rescues. I like mixed breed mutts. But that's just me. But if you like some people want a dog for specific reasons and they want a different breed. And I have no problem with that. I went through that phase with pit bulls, like every other piece of white trash from South Jackson. At one point in time or another, I had to have me a pit bull. And that's a full-time job. My God. Have you ever raised a pit bull? That is a full-time job. My terrier that I got from the dog pound, by the way, from the rescue, she's been a full-time job too, but she will sleep. Man, a pit bull, you cannot just put them out in the backyard. They are escape artists. Yeah, we've had conversations on the show about pit bulls. It's a very sensitive topic for a lot of y'all. It ain't the deed, it's the breed. I don't want to anger half my listeners this morning talking about pit bulls. So it's a very divisive conversation, to say the least. But let's go to Amber's post. And if you're watching online, I'm not pulling the images on. There's no point in it. You can go find these stuff. I've shared these posts. If you want to go see the pictures of this woman, they're shared to both my Facebook pages, my personal and the big page. Just search Clay Edwards, and you can find the post. And, we've had Amber on the show several times about other stuff. Amber's testimonies for drug recovery, her and her husband, Tyler's, are awesome. And Amber, I consider them personal friends here. So when I saw this, I said, well, she picked the wrong one to sell a puppy to, because Amber's got a very big following, especially on TikTok and stuff. And this story, when like I said, Amber's got a huge heart, and you know it's real when she talks. So she shared this, man, it caught fire. It caught fire, because then Melody put together like a more official post. I want to show y'all this. Let's see how many times this has been shared since yesterday. 760 times. That is a lot, just so you know. For a post about something local, that is a lot. That's basically what I call going locally viral. So, let's see here. I'm trying to find the details. All right, so let's circle back. All right, so this was almost 24 hours ago. Amber posted, and she bought like a little Yorkie, is what it looks like to me. Precious little thing. It says, the amount of love and support I've been shown the last 12 hours is insane. Toby, that's what they named the dog, Toby, has been admitted into a local hospital. He is not on death's door. I truly believe we are one of the lucky ones. He is going to make it. They're going to keep him and run IVs and get him healthy and see why he is passing bloody stool every 30 minutes. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have read that. They're very familiar with the environment he came from. As far as the seller, I am not going to be able to give updates at this time, but please know I am not letting it get swept under the rug. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And to the precious family that reached out wanting to pay Toby's hospital bills, you are beautiful souls, and thank you. You can never be enough. Thank you can never be enough. All right, so we got an update on Toby here. Just got the call. to get Toby from the animal hospital. The doctors estimated him to be 5 to 6 weeks old, not the 12 weeks old that the seller had told her. And see, so that's what they're doing here. If you're not really catching on while we're talking about this lady is pulling these little puppies from their mom 6, 8 weeks way too early when they're still tiny and passing them off as being miniatures and teacups and all that stuff that everybody wants nowadays. Which, again, teach their own. I don't care if a dog, we're talking about these little small dogs here, whether it's a teacup or the full size, it's only a couple pounds difference in my opinion. But again, you paid for what you wanted, and if you didn't get what you were sold, then you got scammed, which is illegal. So I understand why people are upset. But anyway, so it says it's a 5 to 6 week old dog, not a 12 week, as the seller said. They gave him IVs throughout the day and have sent him home with an antibiotic, cacheta medication, nausea medication, and worm medication. He's a precious tiny babe, and I am so grateful that he was one of the lucky ones and all that good stuff. Got a cute little picture of Toby there, and he is a precious little thing, but you can tell he ain't 5, 6 weeks old. So, again, and there's tons of stories. I mean, this thing is going nuclear viral around here. If you can go find, it's Amber Tyler Norsworthy. She's got a bunch of posts. Melody Ferguson's got a bunch of posts about it. Just be careful. If you're buying a dog from someone, and I believe law enforcement is involved at this point. I think WLBT is going to be running a story on this as well. So I'm just bringing attention to it in the sense that, I'm conflicted on this. I want to say, get the dogs from her and try to save the dogs, but be very aware that that dog may be being separated from its mama way too soon. But clearly, this woman, if all this is true, has no business selling dogs and breeding dogs. Very sad situation. All right, let's take a break, come back, and reset, move away from the puppy business. Unless y'all want to call in and talk about it. If you got a story, if you've bought a dog from this lady and you've had a horror story, you want to call in, the Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. Yeah, I'd rather keep the stories to phone calls. I don't like having to read whole stories and text messages. So if you got a story you want to tell about it, 601-879-0002. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, here live on 103.9 FM, WYAB. This segment brought to you by our good friends over at Martin's in Jackson and at Livingston. Don't forget, this weekend it's the big Weeks Homecoming concerts downtown at the Martin's, downtown at the Jackson location. Well, obviously downtown. There's not another one anywhere else that has a downtown. Anyway, mark the calendars. Plan on getting downtown to Martin's for the Weeks. But hey, look, man, Martin's is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. at the downtown location. You got the college football playoffs kicking off Friday night with Notre Dame and Indiana. The games will be on all the big screens at both locations, Martin's downtown and Martin's at Livingston. I went by the Livingston location, Tuesday? I tried the shrimp and grits. Again, I know I talked about this yesterday. I don't know if they have it 7 days a week, but if they got it, if they got it on the menu or they got it as a special of the day, absolutely try the shrimp and grits with that Cajun cream sauce. But you can try the Cajun cream sauce on their pasta too, and it's on the menu every day. It's really, really good as well. Goodbye. Check it out. Live music, sports, food, lunch, dinner, all of it. Martin's at Livingston and Martin's in downtown Jackson. Don't forget, coming up this Monday night, Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, downtown Brandon. It's the 3rd annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas party and downtown throwdown. I'm making that downtown throwdown part up, but it's in downtown Brandon, so sounds good to me. Anyway, it's going to be a good time. It's free to get in. It starts at 6 o'clock. We're turning the whole building into a big light show. It's going to be amazing and just Brian Barlow just sent me some pictures of what it's going to look like, some images. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, you're not going to believe you're not going to believe you're on a patio in downtown Brandon. We got the Stevens brothers performing live. That's going to be great. I'm telling you, those guys are the next big act to come out of Mississippi. You know, there's a handful of us that got to see Three Doors Down do a couple club shows in Mississippi before they blew up. There's going to be a handful of us that got to say the same thing about the Stevens brothers. Man, I got to see them when they were playing bars, and you're never going to get that opportunity again once they blow up. They're that good. And I'll be shocked if in a year we're not having that conversation. I really will. 2 to 3 years anyway. They're young. They're young. They gotta get to Nashville first. But when they get there, it's on, son. It's on. So anyway, they'll be playing live. If you bring a jacket, some jeans, some gloves, something to help keep somebody warm outside, blankets, you're going to get a free beer courtesy of Southern Beverage. We've teamed up with Shower Power. And even if you don't want a beer, hey, take a good chance to clean out your closet of some old winter clothes you don't wear anymore. Hoodies, coats, jacket. Is a coat and a jacket the same thing? Is it like a cap and a hat? Is a coat and a jacket the same thing? Anyway, coats, jackets, beanies, whatever. If we can help, go buy a couple packs of socks. We're going to trade you that for a cold beer. And you don't have to have the beer if you don't want it. I'll drink it for you. Anyway, we're hooking Shower Power up. Try to turn this party into something more than just a party. Try to turn it into something for a good cause. And we're starting that this year by teaming up with Shower Power. I will see you on Monday. Mark your calendars. Christmas Eve, 6 o'clock to close. I mean, I'll be down there about 5, honestly. If you want to just stop by right after work, I'll go ahead and just be posted up, and we can start hanging out early. Ain't going to be no radio show the next day. We'll be playing Christmas music for 2 straight days here on WYAB, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'll be able to sleep in, and I'm going to need to because I'm going to have a good time. Yes, I am. All ages welcome, too, by the way. Don't hesitate bringing the kiddos by and let them see everything going on. And I'm efforting a Santa Claus, but I need to start efforting harder. I really do. But I'll let y'all know for sure if we're going to have a Santa or not. All right, somebody tried calling in. Y'all call back. 601-879-0002 is the call-in number. I'm going to save all the political stuff for the next segment for the top of the hour. I'm going to circle back to the puppy mill stuff because I've got some good comments here. Kelly says, she goes, I used to work at a vet clinic in Madison. We saw numerous of Vicky's puppies that would just drop dead. They're taken from their mom too fast, and they're sickly. Those teacups that are ill. This isn't the first time she's been blasted on social media. She just hides for a while, then comes back under another name, or sends her employees out to sell for her. Now, somebody did send me a list of addresses, but I'm very hesitant about putting that kind of stuff online. I do appreciate it, but I don't want to be responsible for somebody getting attacked at their house or something like that, because there are people out there that take this animal stuff very serious, and there's no telling what they're willing to do. So I'm personally going to be hesitant about putting that out there, but by all means, if somebody else wants to, do your thing, boo-boo. Brittany says she needs all her dogs taken away. I'm just kind of going through the comments here. Yep, some people have posted her address already. Let's see. Like I said, I just personally want to avoid that myself. I don't want to live with that. Socks. We do need socks for sure for the homeless folks. So socks is going to be a big thing. I'm just running through these comments here. Angela says a coat is heavier than a jacket. All right, good to know. I've been wondering, what is the difference in a coat and a jacket? Alan says on YouTube, for the love of all that is good and American, we desperately need a Clay Edwards Show WrestleMania watch party. I tell you what, if that's what y'all want, I'm a man of the people. We will have a Clay Edwards Show WrestleMania watch party. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch both nights. That's one of the... Now, if I can manage to stay single till May, they moved WrestleMania to May this year. It's not in April. It's going to be the first weekend in May, I think. But like a Cinco de Mayo WrestleMania, something like that. Anyway, if I can manage to stay single between now and then, we will definitely have a WrestleMania watch party. If I manage to not stay single, I can't. My girlfriend can't know I watch wrestling. She might not want to be my girlfriend anymore. It's frowned upon around here, apparently, to still watch wrestling at 47 years old. Now, I'm being a little facetious there, by the way. Clay will do whatever Clay wants to do. She can either watch it with me or be gone. Melody says, Clay, with all your law enforcement friends, can we get any of them to offer advice on how to best tackle the puppy situation? Yeah, I'm going to make some calls today. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was a little late to the party on this yesterday. I didn't start really paying attention to it till yesterday afternoon. And I came real close to making a video about this and got distracted, ended up making another video, an effed around and found out video. And then I ate dinner, and then I got on the phone. And I just said, well, I'm just going to save it for the radio show. The radio show is the mothership around here. Everything else is just accessory, all the other little short form videos and all that. So that's why we're talking about it this morning here on the show. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on finding out what we can do. I'll reach out to my friends at the DA office and see, because, I mean, if she's in Madison County, that's Bubba Bramlett. That ain't no Jody Owens. So if she's in Madison, Bubba and his team can definitely investigate that or look into it. Sean was saying maybe it's under false pretense. I think I saw him reply somewhere. See if I can find that reply real quick, where I got tagged in that Facebook group. Let's see. I know this makes for riveting radio when I'm searching for stuff. Let's do this. Let's take a call real quick. Hey, caller, you got about a minute.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, lost them. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back on WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Guys, this puppy story is blowing up. This is obviously something you all are extremely passionate about, as am I. Look, if you're just tuning in, I've been saying this a lot lately. I've really gotten to where I have way more sympathy and empathy for puppies and stray animals than I do stray humans that don't want help. So, as a dog dad, this really tugs at my heartstrings a lot. And I actually just got a text from our very own, one of our very own guest hosts here at WYAB, Andrew Gasser, and said that he has one of those puppies. Andrew, if you're still listening, man, let me know, is the puppy healthy? Have you had any problems out of the puppy? And if you're just tuning in, we're exposing or helping expose, Amber and Melody online have done such a great job with this. We're just trying to magnify the message a little bit here, amplify the message. A puppy mill, allegedly, being ran by a lady named Vicki Davis, amongst other names. Not sure what her real name is, but she uses several other names, and she pops up and sells these puppies online, and claims they're 12 weeks old, and they're teacups and this, that, and the other. When actually they're 4 or 5 week old dogs, and they're being separated from their mama way too soon. Melody asked online what radio station. It's 103.9 FM. 103.9 FM is the radio. We got to take our top of the hour news break. We'll be right back in 7 minutes on WYAB. Boom, shakalaka boom. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the radio and online here on 103.9 FM WYAB. Streaming worldwide in 4K video on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Just search Save JXN. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards. We are live here in the studio this morning talking about illegal puppy mills right here in central Mississippi. Before we get back to that, we got the call lines are jammed up. You guys are stoked to talk about this morning. Well, not stoked is probably a bad way to word that. You guys are eagerly anticipating telling your stories about this morning. And if nothing else, I've learned when you got a hot topic that people are passionate about, you throw the rest of the show prep out the window and you roll with the hot hand. The puppy mill is the hot hand, and we're going to roll with that until you guys decide we're not going to. This is y'all's show as much as it is mine. But before we go to the phone call real quick, just want to remind everybody, the show is brought to you by our good friends over at Guns and Gear, located right there, Highway 51 North in Gluckstadt, Mississippi, right there at Yandell Road. Swing by, see Hunter and the team today. It's getting close to Christmas. They're going to be working all the long hours between now and Christmas, getting you guys all the guns, ammo, and accessories you need for your loved ones and for yourself. So don't hesitate to swing by and get that perfect gift for someone, because there is no gift greater than the protection of their life. And you can get that at Guns and Gear. And don't forget, they buy guns. If you've gotten yourself in a pinch and you need to sell a gun to buy somebody another gift for whatever reason, I can't think of one, but whatever. Everybody's different. Hunter will make you a fair market value offer for that firearm. So swing by there, sell Hunter your gun, buy a gun, and don't forget they take care of all your Cerakoting and gunsmithing needs too, all under one roof right there at Guns in Gear. Check them out online, gunsandgear.co. Just like Guns N' Roses, swap out roses for the word gear. It's not guns and gear, it's guns in, the letter N, gear.co. All right, man, let's jump over to the Mazda Jackson phone line, see who we got on hold here. Hey, thank you for staying on hold. You're on there.
Hey, Clay. Good morning. It's Andy. How's it going?
Hey, brother. How you doing, man?
Dude, you are killing it. And when you were talking about this puppy mill, I'm like, holy cow. This is our dog. And we have a dog. Her name is Baby Queen. She was originally named Bubble, sold to us as a teacup Shih Tzu. And this dog grew up with, we have a farm, and I've got 8 Great Pyrenees. And this dog would run out with the Great Pyrenees to do everything. She's 3 years old now. She can't walk. We have to get her up and take her outside to use the restroom. Once she's up, she can barely move around. And, she's just as integral to the farm as any of our other dogs. And now that we brought this up, it's been one of those things where even my wife and my daughter are like, what happened? And we got this dog because we rescued a Shih Tzu from the pound, and she ended up living to be 17, and we waited a few months and just wasn't finding anything in the pound, so we got Baby Queen, and it's terrible. She used to run, jump, play, act, just be the greatest little dog, great house dog, and now she's not gone. We're not going to put her down or anything, but it's like taking care of like a grandma or a grandpa, because she can't do the things that a 3-year-old dog should be able to do.
Oh, it's devastating.
It's killing us. And, we've taken her to the vet. Our vet is really good. And we've taken her 4 times, and they know that she's got a hip problem, but they can't explain the lethargicness and the how slow she is. And I'm not wondering if that's just, and I'm just speculating, because, I'm not a vet, but I'm not wondering if pulling her from her mama way before her time, like it's been talked about on Facebook and other places, if that hasn't affected her down the line. And it's sad, and I'm grateful that, Clay, man, you just don't have the best show in Jackson, Tri-County area, but all of Mississippi. And you lending your voice to this is really going to prevent a lot of other animals, I think, from having to suffer the same fate as our dog. And there's a lot of other people going through them. Brother, thank you so much.
Yeah, brother. Look, man, like I said, animals kind of become my heel. I think as we all get older, we just become more sympathetic for animals. We kind of appreciate their struggle a little bit and how they need us. And, they trust us. I wish I was as happy to see everybody as my dogs are to see me every time they see me.
Oh, it's beautiful when you walk home, and I've got Delilah in my backyard. She's one of our Great Pyrenees who doesn't guard the sheep anymore. She's more of a yard patrol. And when I come home and her eyes light up and that big white tail is just going back and forth, it's precious.
Man, I saw a video on Instagram the other day, and it was like from some dog trainer, and it was trying to say how to train your dog. And it's like when you come in and they're doing the zoomies, and running around and stuff. And they said, no, you ignore them. And then when you sit down and get ready, let them come over to you. And I mean, you know the term ratioed? When people don't like a post, it gets ratioed. It's like 10,000 comments to 100 likes. This thing got ratioed into oblivion, and everybody was like, you need a cat. Why don't you get a pet alligator then? It was like, what are you talking about? Ignore the dog when you first come in the door. That's when I want my dog, is when I first walk in the door. You know,
it's just that pure, unbridled joy that they show you, the unconditional love.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
It is.
And I'm not calling out my sweetie or nothing. She does that too. But it's just, pets are just members of our family.
100%.
And they get that status. And that's pretty bad. And, brother, I know you got a lot of other callers. I don't want to Tom jam you. But thank you for doing this, brother, and I can't wait. I'll try to see you Friday, man. I'll try to see you Friday.
Man, I sure hope so, brother. Looking forward to it, Andrew. Take care, brother.
Later, brother.
All right. Let's go over to our other call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, thank you for staying on hold. What you got?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Is this Amber?
Hey, Clay. This is Amber.
Hey.
I wanted to call because I've had lots of people texting me saying they're listening to the radio, and they have people saying, oh, this happened to us, this happened to my family. And I'm asking, please, if this happened to you, please send me a message with information. We really need it to help with what we have going on. I cannot speak on it. I also want to say I did not know about this woman at all. I knew nothing. I just simply made a post on Facebook about a new puppy we got that was really sick. And thankfully, one of my friends on Facebook, Melody, saw it and recognized what was happening with my dog has happened to so many others over the last 2 decades, and called her out. And now it has blown up, and it is a serious issue, and it's devastating, and it's sad, and she's gotten away with it for way too long, and it's got to stop. So please, if this has happened to you, please send me a message with information. I'd be so grateful.
Tell people how to find you.
On Facebook. Yeah, just find Tyler Amber Norsworthy on Facebook, and just let me know what happened, when it happened, where you met, how much you paid, what she told you, because she is telling lots of lies, and she's selling inbred dogs, baby dogs. She's selling animals that are very ill, and we just need all the help we can get, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, if anybody reaches out to me and wants your number, can I give them your number?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Cool, I'll do that. If anybody's listening doesn't want to have to track Amber down on Facebook, a lot of people don't have social media, so if y'all need her number, reach out to me, and I will pass you her number in a text. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It.
Yeah, appreciate you and Melody doing what y'all are doing. Great work.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, look, I'm going to mention this again. Got to, right? Now, these are all accusations. I mean, obviously, people's stories are true. These are all accusations. I'm not accusing this woman of nothing, but we're shining a light on these accusations. And you can be the judge. I believe law enforcement is about to be involved, and they're going to be the judge. And so just want to say, Clay Edwards is not accusing this woman. WYAB is not accusing this woman. But we are shining a light into a dark space and making people aware of what is being said. We're going to look out for our listeners. We're going to look out for our animals. And I have no problem doing any of that. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. Let's see here. Now, somebody was texting in, unknown texter, and says, now, and this may be something that's being said in these ads for these dogs. So if I'm piecing this together improperly, I apologize. But they said, how is the dog free if the owner is charging a rehoming fee? I was like, well, I don't think these dogs are free, are they? And said, well, it usually says free to a good home when they post on Craigslist, but at the bottom they post that it says a $40 rehoming fee. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, so I just throw that out there. Unknown texture says this woman is committing a felony on the puppy mill and charges should be brought. Not sure why this has been ignored for so long. Hopefully, we are shining a bright light on this thing, and the girls have shined a bright light on this thing on social media, and what we're doing here on the show this morning is putting the cherry on top. And hopefully somebody's out there listening that can make a difference. Let's see here. All right, that's got us caught up on the text. Let's read a few of the, we got another call coming in. You know, I love the phone calls. I love hearing from y'all on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Let's take this call. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, I'm here. Clay, it's Melody.
Hey, Melody.
I wanted to call in with my own personal situation with her because mine was slightly different.
Yeah.
We had an ad on Farmers Market Bulletin for a goat back in maybe 2017. And that's when I met Vicki, and we went to her home, and it was this big gated property. And I was escorted through the gate by what I'm assuming are her workers. And they escorted me, like, followed my vehicle in the front and the back. And I started getting a little nervous because I had my daughter with me, and I was by myself other than that. And we went up to this property that was gated, and they took me around to the back to the barn where there was livestock. There was a bunch of ponies. There was some goats. And there was this massive white barn. And being a horse lover, of course, I'm like, oh, my gosh, that barn is amazing. What's in there? It was locked up really tight. And they just shook their head and wouldn't answer me. And I thought that was really odd because most people with, barns like that, they're like, oh, look, here's our barn, our animals, blah, 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 blah. And they didn't have anything to say, and I thought that was strange. And Vicki came out, and I met her, and she didn't have anything to tell me about this goat. She just wanted her money. The guys put him in my back of my Tahoe, and they escorted me back out of the property. And I just thought that was so strange that this huge barn was locked up airtight. Like, you couldn't hear anything. You didn't see anything. And I was like, that is so strange. A lot of barns need good ventilation for their animals. Anyway, I didn't think anything about it after we left. The goat was fine. He was healthy. But about 2 weeks later, I saw a lady posting on Facebook about this dog that she had gotten and how sick it was, and it died at the vet, and she had bought it from this lady, and she posted the lady's photo, and I recognized her, and I was like, that's the same lady that sold me the goat. And I started investigating it back then, and I caught on to a bunch of social media posts back then that were talking about her and the dogs that she was selling, and we tried to kind of bring it to light then. I didn't know very much back then about her, and the group was made, the Victims of Vicki Davis Puppy Mill. And there's just tons and tons and tons of the same stories. But I wanted to kind of clarify some stuff. She does advertise. She does not do the whole rehoming fee as far as we know. She sells these puppies outright as teacups and minis. She advertises on websites, Craigslist. She's usually not on Facebook. It's all the websites that you can get animals from, and she wants to meet you in either a shady location or something right off the interstate. She tells you the dog's a teacup or a mini to explain its size, and then she'll tell you that she doesn't have anything to do with the dog after 48 hours.
Yeah, and I want to throw something out there real quick too about this is something I harp about a lot on the show. Do not meet people in shady places off any of these marketplace type places.
No, oh my gosh, no.
If they will not meet you at the police station, the fire department, or the sheriff's office, don't do it. And even if you don't have to meet them there, that should be a litmus test. If they're not willing to meet you there, what are they really up to? So just FYI, even if they say, yeah, okay, that's cool. Well, you know what? Let's just meet at the gas station after that, whatever. But throw that out there first as a red flag tester, so to say. If they're willing to meet you at the police station, they're probably doing legitimate business. If they're not, that should be your red flag.
Exactly. And I think like when she met Amber, she even parked. Amber insisted that they meet at a safe location, and she parked backwards in the parking spot so you couldn't see her tag. Like, this lady, she knows what she's doing. She's done this for decades. The vets know her. The rescues, they all know her. And the dogs are inbred. They're usually not purebred because there's no telling what all they're crossed with. I think one lady posted on the group that she got a DNA test done on what was supposed to be a Shih Tzu, and it was like 4 or 5 different breeds. This lady is just really, really pushing the limits of what, I mean, obviously it's ethically horrible, but even morale, like the morality of it, like really you're doing this to these animals just to make $1. And it's so sick, and it's disgusting. So just guessing here, what's going on in that barn is it's an absolute puppy breeding hellscape. It has to be, because the only thing that we have been able to uncover, because once I got involved, I started investigating. I went pure, Olivia Benson on the whole topic. And that's the only location that we've looked up for her that could possibly be big enough and quiet enough to where she's running this puppy mill. Supposedly workers have commented anonymously on the group that they've seen it, that they've been in her house to clean it, and they've walked into rooms full of crates full of puppies. But, of course, we haven't gotten any of them to actually speak their name, which has kind of hindered the progress on this, because we need people to come forward and speak to law enforcement if they've encountered this woman or if they have seen anything in person. Because, you can accuse somebody all day long, but you have to have the proof for the law enforcement to do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to do anything illegal, but I'm just saying, if any of you unprofessional drone operators out there, drones have become very popular here lately. It'd be interesting to fly a drone over that barn and see if you can find anything. I'm just saying that's what I would do.
I would think that as well, but like I said, when I was there, and this was several years ago, but when I was there, that barn didn't have a crack.
Yeah.
Like I was even curious enough that I kind of stood there and listened, and the fact of how quiet it was eerie to me. Because when you're at a farm, it's noisy. There's animals everywhere. They're mewing. They're making noises. They're neighing. This place was eerily quiet.
Well, I guess
to be a farm.
Sure. I guess what I would suggest, what I'm saying more than anything, is maybe you could catch somebody, with a drone. You could catch somebody walking in and out of the barn with a puppy, with a dog in a cage or something.
Right. That would be fantastic. Honestly.
That would be the hopes of. You're obviously not going to be able to fly it through there and find anything.
Right.
But if you could catch somebody. It would, I don't know, wishful thinking that you would do it at the exact time. But, hey, what about,
it can happen.
Hey, just throwing this out there, like I'm investigative journalism here. Has anybody tried to Google Maps this thing? Well, Google Satellite it?
Yes. That is the photo that I posted with the Facebook post that I made.
Yeah.
We have done that and done it the Google image. And on there, you can see her house, you can see the farm, and you can see that barn.
Okay.
It is on there. I posted my post after Amber's because
I see it here.
Obviously what Amber's post is extremely sad, but I knew more facts from the group and having personally dealt with her. So I made the post with more of the clear outline of who she is and what she does to go along with Amber calling this to light, because so far, nothing has been done about it. But at this stage in the game, we need the proof. We need anybody that's got the stories, the photos, anything that they have that can help build a case against this lady to stop this puppy mill.
Yep. All right, Melody, great work. I got to
Thank
jump
you,
off
Clay.
here. Appreciate you. Keep it up.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We're live on WYAB. We're live on the internet, streaming in 4K video on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. Just search Save JXN. We're also streaming on WYAB.com. What's great about the WYAB.com, we don't have an app per se, but you can go to the WYAB.com on your browser on your phone. You can click the Listen Live button up top. And then when you get to that screen, you can hit Save to Home Screen. And then it's basically a WYAB app. Not all the functions of an app, but, easy enough. If you want to listen, you can. And we have such a great lineup of hosts here on WYAB. A lot of people think that we have like these meetings and we all decide, what are we going to talk about this week? What narrative are we going to push this week? Look, we have a group text because we all like each other for the most part. But I promise you, we do not have any, there's no mandate that we must talk about this or must talk about that or must all agree with this or not talk about that. It just so happens that we're all pissed off about the same things rather consistently, and we end up talking about the same things. But there's not a mandate that we do those things. So anyway, you got my show from 7 to 9. I'm sorry, let me start over there. You have Matt Bishop's show from 6 to 7 a.m., the full story, every Monday through Friday. You have my show 7 to 9 every Monday through Friday. Mondays and Tuesdays, you got Chip Matthews from 9 to 10. Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to 10, you have Mike Madison. He's our in-house libertarian. He is the one sticking the spokes around here every now and then. He doesn't always agree with everything. You have every day, every Monday through Friday, 10 to noon, Jameson Haygood. Then we have some national stuff in the midday there. Dana Loesch from 10 to noon, from noon to 2, and Charlie Kirk from 2 to 4. And you also have Radio Strongman, Kim Wade, the living legend, the next mayor of Jackson, from 4 to 6 every Monday through Friday. So just rip the damn knob off is what I'm saying. Rip the knob off. Link that Bluetooth up. Link that WYAB.com Bluetooth up from your phone to your radio there. Listen live no matter where you're at. And, of course, the radio signal is strong as can be, usually, on 103.9 FM. All right. Man, this puppy mill story took over. It really did. I've got some breaking news, like legitimate breaking news here, exclusive to the Clay Edwards Show. Every time I think Jackson can't out-Jackson itself, it out-Jackson itself. One of my sources over at Jackson Police Department just texted, and I still have friends at JPD. This is disgusting. It truly is. Some piece of human feces, a Democrat, of course, pulled up to a school bus full of kids, pulled out a gun, and robbed a kid for his tennis shoes. Just now. Happened over by the Trails Apartments over around County Line Road. A car full of thugs, or thug, presumably more than one, probably 14, 15, 16 years old. I mean, I'm going to guess driving without a license, regardless of how old they are. Probably don't have any insurance. Probably in a Hyundai, a Kia, a Nissan Altima, or a Malibu, or a Charger, maybe a Challenger. It's going to be one of those cars. If it's a Hyundai and a Kia, it's stolen. Anyway, pulls up to a school bus and arm robs a kid for his tennis shoes. This is the second time this has happened in the last few weeks. The first time, it didn't make the news, but it was all over that Facebook page, the mugshots of Central Mississippi or Hinds County mugshots or whatever it's called, which I firmly believe is ran by somebody in JPD because they're always at the scene of everything. I think that page is ran by a cop, but neither here nor there. A kid just got yanked off a school bus and robbed for his tennis shoes in Jackson. Y'all sure y'all want that coming into Rankin and Madison County with school choice? Yeah, y'all sure y'all want to invite that in? Oh, man. That's wild. So hopefully they'll catch that person and we can give them a effed around and found out grand championship later today. Speaking of effed around and found out grand champions, Rankin County crowned one a couple nights ago. That's right. Started out in Florence, a high-speed pursuit of sorts. It ended somewhere on 49 there, I think. And they whooped the crap out of this dude. At least that's what it looks like. He's got a lot of blood all over his face. And folks are mad. Like I saw that, like WLBT and other outlets posted the picture of him, but the WLBT comment section's, worth its weight in gold. They was black folks mad in the comments that they beat up a black guy. Why are you mad? He was a drug dealer, had drugs on him. He was running from the cops in Rankin County. We don't care what y'all think about us. We don't. This is how we handle buffoonery in Rankin County. Now, whooping somebody that put everybody's lives in danger is A-okay with me. Now, the goon squad stuff, which every butt whooping from the police gets tied back into the goon squad for some reason, that was different. This is the cost of doing business right here. It is what it is. You run from the cops, then you get out of the car and run. Hey, look, man, you're going to get beat up a little bit. And I don't even know if that's what happened. I think the guy wrecked. And he probably hit his head on the steering wheel. But either way, speaking of that, I saw where the Supreme Court is doing a hearing. What is it? A Capitol policeman is getting civil right, not Supreme Court, federal court. A Capitol policeman is in trouble for allegedly roughing up a Jacksonian, banging his head against the car or something. Here it is. Former Capitol Police officer pleads not guilty to federal civil rights charges. Says a former Capitol Police officer is facing up to 10 years in prison after allegedly brutalizing a handcuffed suspect back in 22. Jeffrey Walker, 43, pled not guilty to one count of deprivation of civil rights under the color of law during his initial appearance in U.S. District Court on Wednesday. Magistrate Judge Andrew Harris gave the former police officer a $10,000 unsecured bond. According to court records, Walker slammed a handcuffed man's head forcefully into the hood of his car and kicked him multiple times in the face and head after that man, identified as E.S., led him and 3 Jackson police officers on a police chase. I don't want to live in a world where police can't beat a guy up after he ran from them. We're charging the cop with a civil rights violation? Man, if y'all knew what we did to folks at 105 that stole from us, if y'all knew what we did to folks that you talk about violating some civil rights, I better shut up. Woo, if they're calling that a violation of civil rights, I'm telling you, I guess handcuffing folks to light poles and beating the crap out of them and taking your money back would be frowned upon. I ain't saying we did that. I ain't saying we did that. I'm just saying that if that was to have happened, in the process of them passing us fake $100 bills and we caught them, I'm just saying that's probably what would have happened, is they would have got handcuffed to a light pole and had the ever-loving snot beat out of them. And then you give them the choice. You want to go home and forget about this? Or you want to go to jail? But which one works best for you tonight? I want us to go home. I want to go home. I'm just saying that's what I would do. Let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. This segment brought to you by Mazda of Jackson. Make it a December to remember, courtesy of Mazda of Jackson. Remember, this holiday season at Mazda of Jackson, give or get a gift of the largest SUV that Mazda offers with the all-new Mazda CX-90. It's a third-row SUV with seating for up to 8, multiple convenient power outlets, and an available panoramic moonroof. I tell you what, those multiple convenient power outlets truly are convenient in a vehicle nowadays, with us all having so dang many electronic devices. Half my kitchen counter is dedicated to charging some electronic device or another. It's really gotten ridiculous. I'm going to have to figure something. I'm going to have to put a workbench in my guest bedroom with a power strip on the wall just so I can charge all my devices. We're really going to have to do some consolidation when it comes to all this nonsense. But anyway, I digress. If I get a CX-90, I can just plug everything in there and ride around. One big charging port is what it would double as. But look, it's got 8 convenient power outlets, an available panoramic moonroof. If you buy now, you'll have 90 days to your first payment. They got 15 models that start at 0% financing for 36 months, while the Mazda of Jackson robust pre-owned inventory has rates starting as low as just 4.99 with approved credit and down payment. Shop now in person at Mazda of Jackson or online at mazdaofjackson.com. You know, that 4.99 rate on a pre-owned vehicle is really, really good right now, considering prime is still floating around 8%. You're going through a traditional bank, so if you can finance through the manufacturer bank, Mazda, and they're locking in at 4.99 on a pre-owned, you better do that. That ain't bad at all. They got a vehicle you like. All right, let's see here. Got about 5 or 6 minutes left. We can have a bit of a open forum, I guess. Let's see here. Let me read up some of your comments here. We hit a few things. We've hit a lot of different stuff on the show this morning. Circling back, you know, I may or may not have admitted to a felony, a federal civil rights violation. I'm kidding. Emily says, shh, Clay, you pled to an oath to the club. Daniel may or may not have been a participant in these shenanigans, says the guy wasn't handcuffed, but gave him a choice of remaining a boy or becoming a girl. It was a bad day for that guy. It was a bad day. If that had happened, I'm saying, it was a bad day for that guy. Dana says, just wanted to pop in and let y'all know I'm thankful for the work you do in Mississippi. Dana, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Corey says, and Corey, I appreciate you tagging me in that FAFO post the other day, yesterday too, by the way. I made a video about it and saw your post in there on WLBT. Corey says, there are more concerned with perpetrators' rights these days than the ones trying to uphold the law. That's with anything. Rapes, murders, and so on. That's what got me with some of these ladies yesterday on the dude who ran from Rankin County. We're more concerned about him being bloody in his mugshot than him running red lights and possibly killing innocent people. Not to mention the drugs and everything else he was running for. He did it to himself regardless. If he crashed or the dogs or the cops got a hold of him, all he had to do was stop. This is why I like dogs more than people. Amen. Amen. On YouTube, Mama 13 Bugs says the Congress salary is not all the money they get. Look at all the perks. This was never supposed to be a career. I agree with that too. So, you know, something that I did last week that really angered a bunch of people, or maybe 2 weeks ago, was, and I've had a couple days to think about it, and I know I tell y'all, I said, man, I'll never apologize for anything I say on here. And I'm not about to now. People got really mad at me for calling out that guy that chose to go play in traffic and got himself killed in Florence or down in Simpson County. Because, like, once somebody commits suicide, you are not allowed to acknowledge that happened. You're supposed to have nothing but sympathy, and that death was an accident. And if they were willing to do that, you should be willing to shut up about it. And that's not how I feel about that. Sorry, not sorry. That is not how I feel about that. And the longer I've had to think about that, the more adamant I am in my thinking. I've dug my heels in the sand, and I just don't think you got to feel sorry for everybody. You know, what would I call it? The mass sympathy industrial complex. We are expected to have sympathy and empathy for everybody, no matter how bad or self-inflicted their situation is. Let me rephrase that. No matter how self-inflicted their bad situation is. It's like, bro, I just don't have sympathy for you if you did it to yourself. I got sympathy for that little kid at Blairy Batson right now with that cancer he didn't ask for. I got sympathy for those little dogs being run through this puppy mill and snatched from their mamas too soon and being sold. I got sympathy for the mother whose kid was killed by a drunk driver. I don't have sympathy for the drunk driver. I don't have sympathy for the guy that chose to go sit in the middle of the road and let an innocent person driving on that road run over and kill him and now possibly ruin their lives. I have sympathy for the driver. I don't have sympathy for the person that chose to do that. I don't have sympathy for the person that is currently in the throes of addiction that chooses to continue to stay in the throes of addiction. I just don't. I have sympathy for their families. I have sympathy for the people who have to deal with them. I don't have sympathy for them until they want to get help. Until they want to get help. Then I have sympathy. But I'm tired of this mass industrial sympathy complex. Mass sympathy industrial complex. However you want to say that. I don't have the energy for it. It's exhausting to pretend I give a damn about everything. I just don't, and neither do you. You're pretending you do. But you know you don't. If you did, how about you go pull up to some of these homeless, and I use air quotes in the studio, homeless people posted up on the corner of Lakeland Drive and County Line Road and all these other places with their will work for food. They don't really want to work. They just want you to give them a handout with whatever their lie on their sign is. Why don't you go scoop them up, take them, buy them some clothes, take them to dinner, take them by the ATM, give them some money. Why don't you do that? Why don't you lead by example? And then maybe I'll consider it. Let's take our last break of the day. We'll be right back. All right, online audience. Appreciate you all tuning in this morning. You'll be able to go back. As soon as I hit stop here, you'll be able to go back and watch this from the beginning. So if you missed any of this, you want to go back and listen to the stuff about the puppy mill or anything else, feel free to. Hit that share button, hit that like button. Y'all stay blessed. Don't forget, this Friday, I'm doing my monthly lunch. Everybody's invited. It's open to the public. We're going to be at El Patrillo Mexican Restaurant right there on Highway 80 in Brandon, 11:30 to 1. Stop by, say hey, hang out, grab some grub with me, break bread. Maybe you'll meet somebody you like. Maybe make a new friend. Maybe you'll meet a business owner that offers a service that you want to start doing business with. You never know. And maybe you just come enjoy some great Mexican food. That's what I plan on doing. And then, of course, Monday, it's the 3rd annual Clay Edwards Show Christmas Party, Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, downtown Brandon. Starts at 6 o'clock, live entertainment by the Stevens Brothers, and it's free to get in. All you got to do is show up. Can you do that? Will you do that? Come up a brother out. Y'all stay blessed. No, Daniel, it is Friday, not today. Friday. The lunch is Friday. If I said today, I meant Friday. The lunch is Friday. The party is Monday. Holler at me if you got any questions. Y'all be blessed.